Hi guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Irini. In today's video, we're going to be talking about how you can save more money by taking these same steps that I've taken when it comes to my lifestyle in order to increase your wealth. Since I got my first job out of college about 2.5 years ago, my main focus has been finding ways to save money. Now, this has allowed me to help my parents pay off their mortgage and to provide funding for my sister's college tuition, and then even have more money left over. So it's really important that early on in your career, you figure out ways to start saving money and cutting back expenses in order to increase your wealth over time. Now, I recently found out that 78% of US workers live paycheck to paycheck. It's not just blue collar workers, it's also white collar workers. So people earning 6 figures a year are living paycheck to paycheck. So I picked up a few habits and tricks that I like to use in order to make sure that I am getting the most out of the money that I do end up spending, and I want to go ahead and review those with you guys today. I'm going to start off by just listing out the 5 categories that people spend the most money in, and then I'm going to jump into each one and help you guys find ways to cut back on your expenses. How much you're able to save depends on 2 things: the lifestyle you live and how much money you make. In order to start saving more money, you can do 2 things. You can increase your income or decrease your expenses. Now, to attain financial freedom in life and one day become a millionaire, the key here is that as your income increases, your lifestyle, meaning your expenses, stays the same or decreases. This is how you attain more money over time, and then you invest that money to make more money, and then you become a millionaire. Now, as your income increases, so does your lifestyle, because you're buying those Gucci shoes and that bell and eating out all the time. Well, then this is probably how you might end up becoming 78% of the American workforce that lives paycheck to paycheck. But of course, there's other factors that go into it, like insane amount of student debt and loans, credit card debt. So these are other things that you'll also have to take into consideration, and make sure you're putting your money in the right places and figuring out how to budget so that you can get rid of your debt and live financially free. So let's start with things that we can control today. We might not be able to increase our income right off the bat, but we can start by decreasing our expenses right away. So the 5 main categories that people spend the most money on are housing, transportation, food, entertainment, and clothing, right? So I'm gonna go over those today. I'm gonna do housing and transportation a little later in the video and start with food because we all love to eat and it's the easiest place to cut expenses. Okay, when it comes to food, it's important that you shop smart. Shopping smart means you don't shop at Whole Foods or Fairway or overpriced supermarkets. They will just eat away at your wallet for no reason. There are much more affordable options that you can find, especially in New York City. You have Aldi, Stop and Shop, Target, Costco. There's a lot of options for you to go out and help find those savings. Now, you can even take this a step farther. If you guys know who Graham Stephan is on YouTube, then you know that he likes to shop around and diversify where he buys things. I do similar things. So if I know that Aldi's has $3 brie, then I'll buy my cheese from there. And if I know the store around the corner has the cheapest organic eggs, then I'll buy them from there. So you'll start to kind of figure out what stores offer the cheapest options and keep track, and then you're even saving more. Another key is to buy off-branded items. If you look into the ingredients, it's the exact same ingredients. The only difference is the label name. My next food tip, meal prep. You guys, meal prep is amazing. You save so much money. I can't tell you how many people that I know that buy lunch every day. And when you think about it, if you're spending $12 to $18 on a mini pizza or a basic salad, that's going to add up. If you think about it, there are 252 work days in a year, and if you're spending $12 to $18, that comes out to around $3,000 to $4,500 just in a work year for lunch. And if you buy lunch every single day of the year, then that comes out to around $4,000 to $6,500 for a whole year on lunch. Just lunch, not including breakfast or dinner. Now, for me, I spend around $50, even less, on groceries every week to cover breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That comes out to $2,600 a year on all my food expenses. So the key here is don't eat out. Eating out will just kill your wallet, especially in a city like New York, where meals are so expensive. And you might think, listen, Irini, I can't cook. Like, I literally can't cook, but guys, I can't either. I had to teach myself, but I make such quick and easy meals. So simple. Someone who, let's say, can't even boil water right, not me. I mean, I just heard some people don't know how to boil water. Even they can learn. So there's hope for everyone. And then if you love eating out because your friends go out and you have to eat out, well, there's a lot of ways that you can work around that. Invite your friends over, cook a meal for them. It's a whole activity. And then in the end, you tip yourself with all those savings. But Also, guys, if you don't have friends, well, that's fine too. Less mouths to feed, right? Regardless, there are options. If you have a favorite meal at a restaurant, learn to cook it at home or find really affordable places to go and purchase those meals. So for me, I love sushi, and sushi is expensive, guys, especially in New York City. But what I like to do is get my sushi in Chinatown, Brooklyn. I get a whole roll, 6 pieces for $1.75. I know, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But there are a lot of options. You just have to, go out there and search for them. They're not going to fall in your lap. Free money is not going to be handed to you. One more thing that I do want to mention when it comes to food is coffee. We'll go back to our man, Graham Stephan, who is a millionaire and makes his own coffee every day at home, and it saves him like $3.50. Multiply that over a year, you're looking at $1,200 in savings. Multiply that by 5 years, and you're looking at over $6,000 in savings just by making coffee at home. Spending money on food isn't a priority for me. There's nothing that depreciates faster in value than food. You literally purchase it and it's gone in minutes, sometimes seconds if it's good. Okay, next, clothing. Clothing is expensive, but it doesn't have to be, guys. If you are able to, identify what your style is not trendy. If you shop based on what the new trends are every few months or every weeks, they just rotate so fast nowadays. But if you shop based on trends, then all you're gonna do is end up consuming a bunch of junk and things that you don't need. But if you find pieces that, are true to who you are as a person and the style that you have that will last you a really long time, then you're guaranteed to be spending your money in the right way when it comes to clothing. And the key here is also where I shop. I shop a lot of secondhand. I do thrift stores, consignment stores. It's all about finding the right places to go. I tend to go to consignment shops that will shop from celebrity closets, so they'll bring those in and sell them at a fraction of cost. It's insane. I have a Burberry jacket, brand new with tags on for $250. I'll look at Goodwills in the richer neighborhoods where people are just throwing out stuff they don't need because they consume so many things that they'll just get rid of nice clothes like Armani suits and Zara, Theory, Reformation. You'll find things in brand new condition. So it's about, searching for these opportunities to, one, really help save. And then two, this is a great way to help the environment by taking in secondhand clothing. If you look into the fast fashion industry, it's absolutely just devastating what happens to the environment because of the clothes that we wear. So any steps you can take to better the environment as well as your wallet, it's a win-win. It's a no-brainer. My last tip for pretty much anything, not just clothing, is to look at things in the value of time and not money. Sometimes we forget how much time we put into earning our money. So when you're thinking of buying a pair of Gucci shoes, take the price and put it into the hours you spent to make that money, right? If it's 200 hours, 300 hours, ask yourself, are those shoes or belt or whatever worth the sweat and tears that you put into those hours at work to get that money? Once you start, tying in that price into your hard work, you'll be less likely to make impulsive purchases of things that you don't really need, you just want. Needs over wants and quality over quantity. All right, moving on to housing. Now, housing in America in general is just really crazy expensive. Rent or mortgages, and it really eats away at your wealth. Here is also an important thing to remember. When I hear people spending $1,900 to $2,500 on just one room in the city, it kind of blows my mind because there are a lot more options when it comes to finding a place to live, whether you diversify into different boroughs or different areas of Manhattan that offer you more of a bang for your buck. It's not just about living in Hell's Kitchen or Midtown and having this whole lavish lifestyle and then not being able to grow your wealth over time because you're spending so much money on just a roof over your head. I would also say that getting off the busy cycle is super helpful. So busy cycle is the summer season. So if your lease ends in the summer, try and negotiate a month-to-month lease in order to get into the fall and winter cycle. Now, another thing that is costly when it comes to housing is utilities. Let's say you have Con Edison for your electricity. Well, Con Edison will assign you an energy supplier. By default, maybe it's a nice price to begin with, and then over time it increases because you're not checking in on it. But what you can do is Google energy supplier for Con Edison and then sign up for a new energy supplier, and you'll get a lower rate because it's a more competitive market rate for new customers. So this is a great way to go ahead and start cutting down your utilities, and you can do this for your internet bill as well, change your roommate's name, get a new customer deal. There's a lot of ways for you to start cutting back on your utilities, whether it's a $5, $3 cut month to month, that adds up. Now, overall, housing is really expensive in these cities, and the long-term goal should be for you to leave these cities and find opportunities elsewhere. You also want to, save up and be able to put a down payment on your first home and have that as an asset that you can then continue to grow your wealth with. Okay, the second most expensive category is transportation. Transportation is expensive as well. Like, it is insane how much you have to pay to get from point A to point B. Now, when talking about New York City, I for one use a monthly subway pass. I pay around $127 a month, which is pricey, but because I use it like 2 to 3 times a day, it's definitely more worth it than buying a daily ticket. This also gives you access to not only just the subway, but to the bus system. And I was really intimidated by the bus system in New York, but recently I started to figure it out, and this is a great option. This is like Uber Max Pool, because you get to see the city and enjoy the views, you get your Wi-Fi, and it's a lot cleaner and a calmer environment than the subway. But it's also a really great option and super affordable. So public transportation is my go-to. I don't like to Uber or taxi places. It's expensive and it's a lot slower to get places than if I were to just take the subway there. But a lot of people do, and it kind of creeps up on you. Like, there's people I know that take Uber to work every single day, and spending 20 here, 10 here, you're going out, you're spending another 30 to get somewhere. Before you know it, your Uber bill is $300 a month, and you're like, things like that, they do add up, guys. So figure out ways to get around the city with other, methods of transportation. You can take a bike. City bike is everywhere and a great affordable way to get around. You can walk places. Like, Manhattan is a lot smaller than you would think. You can definitely, take a 20-30 minute walk to get somewhere and enjoy the city. So there are a lot of options. One thing I would strongly advise against is getting a car. A car, I feel like, is more of a hassle than a help in the city. You have to figure out where to park it. Parking is, of course, insanely expensive. And then again, the traffic is so bad that it's just going to slow you down at the end of the day. So our final category is entertainment and recreation and a bunch of other things thrown in there. So now financial advisors suggest that you should spend around 5 to 10% of your salary in this category. But I would say that if you have a lot of debt that you're trying to pay off, or you're trying to save up quickly, that you stay on the 5% or even less side of this. But there's a lot of things that can add up when it comes to this. Like, aside from your regular fun activities that you like to do and enjoy the city, there's things like your gym memberships, which are crazy expensive. I know a lot of people that like to go to Equinox, but I just don't see the value in spending $400 a month on a gym membership that's going to offer me the exact same tools I can get at a Blink Fitness for $25 a month. Don't get me wrong, the steam room was amazing, but it's just not worth it in the long run. So it's about figuring out what you're looking for when it comes to exercise. So I don't really like going to the gym, but I love classes. So you can look into ClassPass, or what I like to do is use Groupon. So I'll go on to Groupon and find coupons for classes. Like, I did kickboxing for a whole year through Groupon. I did 2 months of yoga for $70, which is a really affordable price in the city. Also, since we're on the topic of Groupon, there's a lot of things that you can do, especially when it comes to experiences on Groupon, and get really great prices for it. So if I'm gonna get my nails done, I'll check on Groupon for really nice studios that have deals going on. Similar, like getting massages or cooking classes, dance classes. There's a lot of things that you can experience in the city at a fraction of the cost if you get your ticket on Groupon. So it's important that you decide what percentage of your income will go towards entertainment, and that you stick to that goal. It's a promise that you keep to yourself, and it's important that you see it through. Because if you can't keep a promise to yourself, how are you going to keep promises to other people, right? It's all about finding that balance. Okay, now that I've shared with you guys a bunch of different ways that I save money, the next steps are going to be to analyze how you're spending your money. So you can either print out your bank statements and analyze your credit card spending, or you can download apps like Mint and Empower that go ahead and track your expenses for you and let you know when you've gone over the goals that you've set. Another helpful trick is to set up automatic withdrawals. So as your paycheck falls into your checkings account, you can set it up so that 20 to 30% of it is automatically pulled out and put into your savings account. So then you're left with money that you can then take and break down into the different categories that you spend. And it's like that other money didn't even exist and you're not tempted to spend it. All right, now that we've saved all this money, we don't want it sitting in a normal savings account. We want to put it in a high yield online savings account that allows your money to make money as it just sits there. Now, it's not going to make a lot of money, but it's going to make more than zero, which is what it makes in a normal savings account. Now, once you've saved enough money to, let's say, pay off your debt or have have, a good emergency fund secured to cover like 6 months of your expenses, the rest of your money you're going to want to start diversifying, right? Whether that's investing or going into real estate, there's a lot of options that you can take for your money after that. And I'll link up here my how to get started on investing video. If that's something that you guys are interested in, please check that out. And then finally, I want to leave you guys with your next steps, things that you need to do right after this video. Number 1, smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm and hit subscribe for more videos. Step number 2, go ahead and do those analysis on your own spending and figure out what expenses are eating up the majority of your income. Your third step is to set those financial goals. Figure out what is it that you want out of your money in the long term and what steps you can take today to cut back and help grow your savings. All right, guys, that is all I have for you today. But if you found anything in this video to be helpful, please leave a comment below. If you have some helpful tools that you do to save money, please share as well. And then hit that like and subscribe button for more videos coming soon.